Hi, I'm Phoebe from Jambands Australia, and I'm really lucky this morning because I get to hang out with Steve, Josh, and Glenn from Rattlehand. So we have a new album out, debut album, self-titled. Do you want to tell me about the recording process and songwriting process?
Well, the songwriting process was like was my job because we made the record out of sort of all the material that we started the band with, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So there was some songs we didn't record, of course, but the bulk of the material came from the just the initial, startup of the group, and stuff I wrote along the way, and then we made a little an original EP, which we just sort of made 500 of and got rid of them, and then our band members changed and lots of stuff happened, and we were going to make another EP, and then we got some interest from a record label, and they were like, make an album, so we did. Just kept going,
Yeah.
And we got 11 tracks.
We redid a couple off that EP. Once we decided to make it an album, not a second EP, we re-recorded a couple, two songs off the old EP.
Three songs.
Three songs.
Yes.
Thanks for it.
Yes, that's why I'm here.
It was really just I guess a process. I found it sort of like on a recording creative kind of thing. It was like creating an artifact of what we were doing as a band. Do you know what I mean? Like basically going, yep, that sounds like how it sort of sounds when we play it, or how we imagined it sounds when
we didn't
play
really go, let's add horns and strings.
Yeah,
and
there
all
was no big
for
production kind of thing. I mean, the only thing we brought into the group that we didn't have actually in the group was keys. So we got this great guy, his name's Scooby Drew, and he plays real mean piano, and we got him to play some piano and some Rhodes, and that was it. Yeah, everything else is just us doing it, pretty much. Yeah.
And do you all have similar musical influences?
Sort of.
Yeah.
We all have some specific artists who we all listen to.
Yeah.
Definitely. And then there's our own sort of,
And I think prior to this band, various members were in very different genres. I was playing
That's right, yeah.
hip hop, and Renton was
okay.
playing reggae, and Rippingale was playing metal or hardcore punk or something.
Metal,
but I think we
stuff.
sort of all have said we used to play in those bands and go home and listen to old country rather than the genre that we were playing.
We sort of, we're all about the same age.
Yeah.
And so, when we all left school, we all went and did stuff, and one of the things that we did, all of us, was join bands and stuff, and it was all kind of driven by the music we listened to when we were teenagers.
Yeah.
And then as we became adults and listened to real people's music, things changed, and so we got to the point where that bit was over finally, and we had a bit of a chance to get a new thing on the go that was more fulfilling as artists, I guess.
So we feel that there's this growing love for old country that's happening in Melbourne, and do you feel that there's this happening all around Australia?
Well,
how is Australia taking to your gigs? And
I think Rattlehand's the sort of band that, if we play in a city, like Melbourne or Brisbane to an extent, there's sort of the hip dudes that want to listen to old country, like you said. But then we also tend to get gigs. We'll play in little country towns and pubs, and we can sort of, the style that we play fits pretty well there too. We get away with, just Aussie blokes who want to listen to a bit of guitars, and that's cool.
Yeah. We tend to draw quite a wide demographic, I feel. So there's guys who you can tell, like Steve was saying, they're kind of all about old country, but they might not have a really wide sort of understanding of music from the past and stuff like that. And so, but then there's some other guys who come up to us and they'll be like, oh man, there's that one song that sounds so much like blah blah, and you're like, dude, I don't even know who that is. What are you talking about? Oh, it's just this bloke I met at the pub. He told me about this band, and that was good. Blah, there's old guys with cool stories. And,
Yeah.
you know, there's a
Yeah.
variety of people. We really meet a lot of people.
I think the one thing I've noticed the most, particularly when we're playing cities, particularly in Brisbane, I guess, because we play most of our shows, is the wide range of ages that come to our shows
Yeah,
as well.
definitely.
Because
Cool.
generally, when I was in the last band with this guy, was all guys around our age.
Yeah,
like,
18 to 25.
Yeah, it was
And
basically.
now our demographic is
Yeah.
like 25 to
70.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, as old as you can be.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
there's some nice, cool like older people. Who are,
Yeah.
you know, very genuine and cool about stuff. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely a fun band to play in from that perspective as well. You know, like just
Yeah.
meeting a lot of nice people. You know?
Yeah.
It's just that rock and country blues thing, and that's what you get when you come to our shows. Rock and country blues, boozy kind of stuff. You know.
Been
So
doing
it's
a few
just-
in Brisbane lately that have been more acoustic, so it'll
Yeah.
be nice to do some electric guitars. and
That's
stuff.
right. Yeah. Getting out the harp on the bullet mic
Yeah.
and stuff, which we haven't been doing much.
Cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Cool.
So you're gonna play a couple? No, you're gonna play a song for
Yeah,
us
yeah, yeah.
today.
Yeah.
What are you gonna play?
We're gonna play "I'm Doin Fine,"
Yeah.
which comes off our record, and actually will be our next single. So that'll be out in the next few months with a clip
We're gonna shoot a clip
and all
yeah.
kinds of stuff like that.
One, two, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I'm standing on the corner, am I doing fine? I got a job full of whiskey, ain't a worry on my mind. Hell, I never liked the truth, before I met you. But seeing as how I always cared for you, well, I thought that somehow you'd come through. And looking at your baby right now, I'm feeling right at home. Well, I don't know how, but baby, I'm doing fine. Lord, I don't know how, but baby, I'm doing fine. Hey. Well, at first it was about us being friends and hanging out with the blues and boys in prison making noise. You know that I know. You get a kick out of that. Then we pulled those faces in the United States, and when the wind blew off at San Francisco, baby, we got stuck. How about that love? Now I couldn't see into the future without eyes for you. My hindsight painting the pictures in blue, and I knew I couldn't suffer that color no more. Lord, I don't know how, but baby, I'm doing fine. Oh no, no, my darling, I'm doing fine. Oh, with that weight off my chest, I breathe the life right in, the life right in. Oh, with that weight off my chest, I breathe the life right in. On with that weight off my chest, I breathe the life right in, the life right in. On with that weight off my chest, I breathe the life right in.